Hi guys, I'm Pavelko from FxPro. Today, our educational video will be dedicated specifically to the topic of how to smoothly transition from a demo account to a real account. As always, my name is Pavelko, and thank you for watching. I am a stock trader with more than 20 years of experience. And today I will not only share my own trading story, how I moved from a demo to a real account, I'll tell you what you shouldn't do and what you should do as soon as possible. Naturally, I will also share with you the personal experiences of a large number of traders, whom I have personally known and mentored in the field of trading. And believe me, you will take away a lot of interesting information for yourself, but let's start by defining the problem. The core of the problem looks exactly like this. The percentage of traders who make money on demo accounts is significantly higher than the percentage of traders who make money on real-life trading accounts, and by much higher, I mean by dozens of times. That is, if we are talking about the profitability percentage. For demo trading, it can be around 30%. This is based on different statistics from various brokerage companies. But just so you understand, that's tens of percent of profitable traders. If we talk about profitability in trading on real accounts, the situation is much worse, and the number of profitable traders drops to about 5 to 7%. That is all under 10%. So, as we can see, the statistics differ by several times, and of course, there is a certain explanation for this. There is definitely a reason, and the reason does not lie in the trading system. The reason is not that you need some special knowledge to trade on a real account, or that in order to trade live, you might think you need some other kind of trading terminal. Absolutely not. The real reason lies deep within your own mind. The reason is in your emotional state. Today, we'll talk about this, how it happens and how it works. So, trading on a demo account often creates a very specific kind of psychological illusion. It consists in the fact that everything you do on a demo account, it seems super easy. If you have ever played classic computer games before, there used to be this specific thing known as absolute immortality. That is, when you play, you understand what you have. Imagine having an infinite number of lives, where everything you do doesn't obligate you to anything and will never lead to any serious problems. It's the same with a demo account. You lose money that doesn't exist. It's just numbers drawn in the terminal. Your personal well-being doesn't change at all because of it. You also can't withdraw the money you've earned. So you live in this kind of world, a world of illusions where there is absolutely no stress. Because you don't have unrealized financial earnings or unrealized financial losses, you have absolutely no sense of fear whatsoever, because there is no specific external object in relation to which you would experience certain emotions. You don't have any problems, and in fact, there are no real consequences for you. So basically, you trade, you do something, but your result essentially is expressed only in some kind of purely digital and virtual dimension. And this is the real trap of trading. That is exactly why success on a demo account means absolutely nothing. So if you as a trader or tried, for example, to attract an investor by showing them statistics from a demo account, then any competent investor, of course, would not take these documents seriously in any way because it's a demo account. That is indeed the first thing to consider. Secondly, if you are, for example, an investor and someone presents you with such papers, frankly, they also carry no real weight. Therefore, by and large, your results in demo trading mean absolutely nothing. What changes when you start trading with real money, even with ordinary amounts, meaning small sums? This could be just a few $100s. And what changes when real trading begins? To begin with, when you first start your trading journey, your basic psychological instincts kick in. The first thing is you start to feel fear. And in this case, the fear can be about both losses and profits. That is, the fear of losses is expressed in the fact that you, as a rule, you are not ready to lose money. You react very negatively to losing money. And as for profits, the fear is expressed in being afraid to lose what you have, meaning you have opened a trade. For example, the market really does move in your favor and you start to fear losing what you already have. And fear works both ways, creating a cycle of anxiety. Naturally, you also experience all sorts of other intense emotional swings like frustration and doubt, and as a direct result of this instability, your personal discipline takes a severe hit that undermines your progress. Because, as we've discussed, and as I've mentioned in many videos, discipline is essentially the ability to consistently perform the same actions. To put it another way, you don't need any specific educational degrees or highly advanced knowledge just to have discipline. You simply need to consistently perform the exact same actions over and over again. So, When we talk about the difference between a demo and a real account, the date is exactly the same, but the trading is the same, and the trading strategy is exactly the same. Yes, but the behavior model is entirely different. On a demo account, you'll behave and act one way, but on a real account, you will act in a completely and totally different manner. That is exactly why you really need to understand that when you work on a demo account, the single biggest problem with a demo account is that it simply does not prepare you emotionally for real-world trading at all. Please remember this. A demo account can certainly help you gather some useful statistics on how your specific trading system performs in the market. It can help you figure out, I don't know, how to place orders. It can help you understand what trading charts look like. But a demo account is fundamentally incapable of preparing you emotionally for real trading. Why? Because for the most part, you have no clear idea. If you're just starting out, you can't even imagine the challenges that you will be facing. In other words, you simply cannot prepare yourself for certain complex emotions whose true nature you don't yet understand. That's the main problem. So essentially, a demo account doesn't prepare you for anything. Why do most traders not just lose their money, but for the most part get completely wiped out of the market? The problem, in fact, is just one thing. The whole issue lies in psychology, but the first and most common reason is taking on too much risk. And what does psychology have to do with it, you might ask? Well, it's because a person increases their risk absolutely consciously and deliberately. For example, they decide to trade one full contract rather than just a small 0.1 lot, being completely and consciously aware of exactly what they're doing. That in the event of a loss, they will lose all their money. In other words, they do this with complete awareness. You might ask, then why do they do it? Why do they keep doing it? For one reason, they have an incorrect worldview and understanding of trading as a phenomenon. That's the only reason. The second is ignoring stop losses. And again, the same reason applies. It's a distorted perception. Viewing trading as a profession leads traders to trade without stop losses. In other words, they don't fully understand what they're doing. Next, there's what's called revenge trading. This is when a person constantly tries to win back their losses. That is, they've lost once, lost twice, and then they start competing with the market. In other words, the market becomes some kind of opponent to him, someone he tries to settle scores with. And my favorite reason why people get knocked out of the market is overtrading, or as it's called in Russian, peretorgovka. The reason for overtrading is very simple. A person doesn't understand when to enter the market. They have no algorithm, no trading system. And as we know, what is a trading system? That's right, it's the result of education. So, look, he has absolutely no education, no trading system. He has no real understanding of how to enter the market. And he always feels like right now is exactly the moment to buy or sell. The result is overtrading, and the result of overtrading is losing your deposit. So, it's all very simple. So, these are the main reasons why people drop out. In order to smoothly transition from a demo account to a real one, I don't recommend staying on a demo for too long at all. For quite a long period of time, my good friends, maybe just a few months, a month or two, that's it. Absolutely no more than that. There's no need to do anything else there. A demo account is really only needed to learn how to use the terminal, press the buttons, and understand in principle how your trading system, which you should have already developed, will look in real conditions. So let's take a look together. What might your bridge to future real trading look like? Let's start with risk. It's everyone's favorite topic and probably the most important one in trading. You remember this slide I showed about why traders get wiped out of the market, why they lose everything. The main reason, as I said, is exceeding risk limits. By the way, I've mentioned this in many places, in many educational videos, and this isn't just my opinion, it's statistics. Number one is micro risk. In order to smoothly transition from demo to real trading, what do you need to do? You need to start trading with a very small risk. That's my recommendation. 0.25 to 0.5% of your deposit per trade. Yes, that's a small amount, but you need to understand that your goal is not the money. That is, when you switch to a real deposit, your first task is not to earn money. Your task is take some time to familiarize yourself with the emotional background which you will later interact with. This is the first challenge you will face because you will find yourself in a completely different space. And the first task is naturally to take small risks so that you can simply survive in the market, so you don't just get knocked out. The second key element is consistency, which means that your goal is to establish a sequence of actions. This is essentially discipline. As I told you before, there is an acclaimed and recognized book called Atomic Habits, which explores in great detail the underlying psychological foundation of any person's habits. as well as the psychological basis of one's entire worldview. To put it in a different way, these are the fundamental beliefs that we all hold. And at the core of any belief lies what? Repetition. So your task is to develop this very repetition. That is, you need to make 30 to 50 trades. Your task is to strictly follow the rules that you have set for yourself. In other words, you need to create a trading system for yourself and simply follow it. You need to make 30 to 50 trades. That is the minimum required. So your first task is to focus on consistency. Forget about volumes, scaling, or making a profit for now. We're not thinking about any of that right now. Well, and of course, the next step is scaling is every trader's favorite topic because probably it's the biggest advantage. The main benefit of trading is that you can scale your results tenfold simply by increasing your volume by 10 times. That is certainly true, and you do not have to do anything special. In almost any other profession, scaling up tenfold like that is virtually impossible to achieve. In trading, it is possible, but only after you have developed consistency, that sense of repeatability. You should focus on gradually increasing your risk. The key word here is gradually, So remember, professionals scale up gradually while amateurs are really just gambling. Yes, or you could call it gambling, betting, or whatever you like, placing bets, guessing up and down, going all in, and so on and so forth. That's why I'm sure you approach trading professionally, and I'm sure you take it very seriously. So here are 3 steps that will help you smoothly move from a demo account to a real one, no? Without any significant issues. So always remember, a demo account teaches you how to use the trading platform, and it also helps you test out your own strategy. You see how it works. A demo account will only provide you with that basic level of understanding, but a real account, fundamentally and essentially, will introduce you to your true self. I have a significant number of different students with large accounts who have told me many times, Roman, in trading, I have truly discovered and encountered a completely new side of myself. That is, a side I had never encountered before. So a real account is exactly what will help you truly discover your own trading personality. Thank you, friends, for watching this video. Be sure to explore the other educational videos available on our channel as well. I hope that your transition from demo to real trading will go as smoothly and as seamlessly as possible. Follow my recommendations. See you next time. Bye.